This will go order. County Fire Protection. Roll call, please.
Director Herman,
Here.
Director Evanston,
Here.
Director Ogan,
Here.
Director Gilchrist,
Here.
Director Brennan.
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the flag which stands one nation under God, justice for all. Second. Just
Stephanie.
Hey, Mark, we lost you again on the audio. Okay, I've got you on speakerphone. Did you, catch the roll call from Eugene? Is that now? No, sir, nope, you're good. We'll leave you on speaker and if the other gets resolved. I guess we might not want to speak now and find something. This is if I'm talking to you. Oh. Just to clarify, that funds going to work on those requests. And those are all overall just. So, second. We'll discuss. Sure, I will, first of all, the intervention about 2 months ago. We had several good meetings. I appreciated the collaboration between the negotiating team from 2006. That's great discussions. Discussed, person. So at this point, I would like to make and ratify. On this item. On this.
It's not home. Okay. Director Brown.
We also, discussed the. Over with that one. Yeah, well, who's, Rob's. So. Issues. Were you looking to become that they call for public comment, that you want to public comment? Not on the issue, not on.
I just want.
So we'll go over the.
Just want to tell you guys, how proud I am. Leading this department, the way he has, I've known him since 1999 when we all merged. It was my fire chief officer who started this consolidated talks in 1989. And it took us 2 long years to get where we're at, and I am so pleased to see this district come together and explain Colorado Fire. It means a lot to me because we worked so closely with that department when we were still possible. So I just want to thank Tim because he's just grown into a wonderful man and a great fire chief and so I want to thank Tim and all of you for having that foresight to go forward to because it was 20 years ago that everybody would come together. And maybe we're going to work towards that in this county now. So, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. We agree. So, sit down. Seriously. And I will compliment you further, except to say these also speaks well of his character. But I'm just interested to see how you guys operate the speed on Facebook. I appreciate you. You're always welcome to. Back to Hey, Mr. Chairman, this is a follow-up on our last one. No. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Within the board packet, you see staff report from Chief Lohan. Our district currently has 3 historical radios. On your side. We're good. Thank you. The district currently has 3 historical radios. 2 are good running order and are used multiple times a year for special events. The third is a 1963 Crown fire truck that has no historical value to the district. It has not been started or moved in at least the last 12 years. We received an offer from John, from his last name, from Gold Rush Fire Brigade. They have inspected the engine, they're aware of its current condition, and the fact that we also use them. John does restore classic fire engines. He's currently using Solution 73 to house some of the equipment. He's offered us $500 for one apparatus, and he would be responsible for moving pieces of the station. Chief Lohan has requested the board accept this offer, and according to research, it is worth the most $15 million. We see the use to buy staff report. So that'll be the next one. On this one, my apologies for that. This project is borrowed in on the apparatus surplus, Chief Lohan requested district surplus the following apparatus from our fleet. It's a 1963 Crown fire truck model CP 100-54, serial number F1340. This fire engine was donated to the district many years ago, and the district does not have any paperwork associated with the apparatus. The district also does not have any records of who donated part of the parts. The apparatus has been housed at Station 74 and capital equipment for at least 12+ years. Staff recommend the board of directors to approve the 1960 Crown fire truck surplus to allow staff and again, that's the thought. Chief Lohan. You know, it hasn't been in these 12 years. I think we got it 15 years ago. Really involved in this. Maybe. Every part of that. That's what I did some sort of similar calculation, not on the stuff this one. In class, I would that graph draw August 24. As far as time fell similar, but I don't remember the stuff. Went for 10,075. Another one. So what that and so everybody policy on surplus vehicles, 2 options for buying values
It's also like a surplus lots. Another. Just talking about this. Chief. Logos, we could probably do one more. So the question is, what's our process, what's our policy, to the most value of the tax dollars that we spend, to get that come back into.
I think that's a good. Those, the two engines that are similar. Talking about, if the engine we're talking about, and version, I would expect probably somewhere. Our other two versions just decide to sell these. You're running this one. Transmission. The value of those for these folks on the next one. Our cost to an operation.
Right, I'm not, just in the research, saw that. These two that I saw, it's a bring trade. That's the only way you can do that. So I don't know if that's how that means.
Those are on that green trade site. Yes, that's the Indian site, so. Those are running. It's widely used. In the period of these, at least in these apparatus comes due a lot of times. We know it's going to be with one of the last those really come to the ball. So,
And I get that there's dialogue and what's working, what's not. All of that. I'm looking at how is the price determined. Often happens, but not knowing all the information, right? So it's like, how is the policy on how we do that, or is it just inspective? That's what I want to.
I think the fact that chief owners are fleet managers to the market and the apparatus, he's got contacts as well as the vendors that sell these things. So, for example, like that, you reach out that conversation, this is that, and this is the problem. A lot of times it's not. Yeah, exactly.
And then the other aspect is any revenue that goes into the trial apparatus.
It goes back. Now, if we were to build cities that allow trucks, generally speaking, some of the other
I'm comfortable with. I know this. I mean, I trust you go ahead and do their assessment. I think $10 per property. Uh, and in the former lifetime has work. Getting rid of surplus of old final wells. It's really a case like this. Because every single one of them is different in what its value is. One, it's the difference between what it's listed at and what it's selling. And so what's interesting about all these websites are, even the auctions, but most of the websites are self-filing. If you go look and see how long a file has been for sale on a list of events, we find that piece of apparatus will be that been for sale for 13, 14, 16 months. No. Because there's no market for a high dollar. It's super, really nice. It's not too old. Some other allied agency might be interested in it, but a hobbyist is not going to be a lot of dollars on. So at auction, it was not uncommon for us to sell multiple engines that you know, if you look on the website, you say, oh, we can get 30, 40,000 for them. Website saying 35,000. It's not hard. It's not more hard. We'll make a motion to.
Aye.
Item C is the staff start to sell, for us to sell that surplus was. It's down.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve this said fire engine to John Schwartz. $5. One comment. This is for restaurants. Or policy.
That's the name. They have daily solutions. That's the.
It's not part of the
public comment. All right, roll call.
Mr. President, Director Robinson.
Aye.
Director Burton. Director Lopez.
Aye.
Director Button.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As previously provided to the board, we received, an email from Don Ashton, who's the consultant for the Community Parks CSD, posing a question to the agency. If we'd be able to kind of fire the staff to engine companies, 188 workstation for approximately $3.4 million annually, property tax revenue, along with their net revenue of $250,000 in first responder. The intro to his comment was that, you know, we recognize there's a lot of complexity and questions. So I told Mr. Ashton, I'll bring that to the board to consider response. I think it's important for the board to know is that Cameron Park, to the best of my knowledge, was this morning, was in negotiations with the parties. The inquiry of the staff on that. There's a lot of unanswered questions. So I did not view this as a table on part well. She did put together a draft response, so that board's platform to
First of all, Keith, that's not. I think he's right, it is a complex issue. I think there's a lot of unknowns still. And so I appreciate the fact that they're reaching out to us and want to talk to us. And if we were going to enter into a deep dive and know what those complexities are, then maybe we can answer that question. Without that, we can't answer the question without knowing all. So at this point, unless we're invited into a formal process to dive into the actual number, but its responses. For our review process last year, process. Working the process. Not a simple process. Our yeah, it's not a simple like process. So, for people type one. So it's about over time. Allow staff to take on over time. It's possible. So it's not just if they are was awesome, yeah, I had it. So, Billy felt, well, for Logan and myself, were engaged in it. I just felt that we have to respect the chosen that, we're going to support wherever we can. This is what meetings, those are formal. Say, people don't know about, not talking about, but what's going on. That's my.
Thank you so much. I think this looks.
I'll make a motion that we approve the draft letter of by staff. Response to the city.
So, you can't see the draft letter? So basically, I know that when I was asking keep my stations open for a certain amount of time,
The inquiry that
3.4 or
we're
something like that, 3.2.
we're seeing. From scratch. We're counting our other officers, staff for approximately $3.4 million plus the first responder. And I know you both are heavily involved in this. To say, can you stop it now? How do you stop that? That's the question. To honor, that's one. The other condition. We just fell on one, two, yes, we can. That. Yes.
I've been doing this since I retired, so 21 years, for 20 years. And I've never seen, things are the worst I've ever seen it. And Tim knows me pretty well. I'm pretty point blank at what I say. I do not believe that our district now or has in the past heard about our fire protection. If they did, we would still have our own fire department, but we don't. And I don't have any answers because I know it's very expensive for us to keep the house open. I don't foresee that 88 is going to stay open before something happens. I don't believe the annexation is going through Colorado Hills. And I would love to see county fire, as you know, coming. I would love it. But I know it's not feasible with 2 houses and people are going to get upset because they've already been upset. So you have the intestinal fortitude? I won't. I do.
Comments, I'm just observing and speak to these lots of reasons.
Dr. Henry. Dr. Anderson. Dr. Ogi. Dr. Lopez. Dr. Brown.
Aye.
And so what takes effect on this so we need to elect the chair on the question.
Mark, are you willing to keep being the vice chair?
Yeah, I'll be, I'll do the vice chair again if nobody else wants it.
You want it, we'll let it. We're gonna do
I just, the reason I asked that question is that we have had and we have a lot of dynamic stuff going on right now, and to make some significant changes right now, seems like,
I agree.
we ought to stay where we're at.
No, I'm happy to take on the chair, and Mark, you're happy to take on the vice chair? So we need a nomination.
Need a nomination.
Well, I'll nominate, Nikki Kaiserman to be our board chair, to continue as our board chair, and Mark Brunton to continue as our vice chair.
We have to do them separately.
We have to.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll nominate Mickey for board chair. Second.
We don't have to public comment on this.
You have to on everything.
Okay, any public comment on it? Go ahead, roll call it.
Okay, Director Kreisman,
I,
Director Evanston,
Aye.
Director Rogan,
Aye.
Director Gilchrist,
Aye.
Director Brennan,
Aye.
need a motion for vice chair.
I'll make a motion to nominate Director Brunton as vice chair.
Okay, second,
Second.
any public comment?
Director Kreisman,
I,
Director Evanston,
Aye.
Director Rogan,
Aye.
Director Gilchrist,
Aye.
Director Brennan,
Aye.
okay, item B, board committee assignments. I would suggest that we stay the way we are, and not, unless somebody has some particular thing they want to switch out of.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's critical, especially the VSB, VCF annexation, we've been working through that for a year, 2 years. And it's very,
I agree. I do think just for, so awareness, and I don't know who's online or not, or participants,
Just Mark.
but we should probably identify what our standing committees are and our, ad hoc, just
Right.
for the record.
okay. So we did, I'll list them what they are, and then we can make a motion to accept them all. I don't think we have to go even that
They can
way.
accept with no changes.
Yeah.
Okay, our standing committees, A, budget and finances, that's I, and Gilchrist, Director Gilchrist. Communications and outreach, it's Mark and Paul,
And Vicky, you're sharing finance, I'm sharing communications,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, no,
Shares between HR and I have that as a
okay, the ad hoc committees are facilities and equipment, it's Mark, Jim,
And Mark chairs that.
I think Mark.
Yes.
Human resources is Lloyd and Jim.
I share that.
Lloyd, Chair Bellman, and the DSP ECF annexation working group is myself and Lloyd. And I guess I've been sharing that one somewhere. So, okay, so do I have a motion to accept all the committees as is?
Sure, I'll make a motion to, accept all standing committees as is
And ad hoc committees?
and ad hoc committees.
I get them all one shot.
I'll second.
Okay, we need a roll call vote, yes.
Oh,
Wait, public comment.
if we still have a ad hoc that is strategic planning, don't we, but we haven't removed that. We did remove that. Was that when I was in the hospital, probably? I don't know.
I remember having a discussion.
It's been a year.
Okay,
It's been
okay.
removed.
All right. Well, obviously.
Okay, any public comment on this?
Question, how often do these standing committees meet? What are the schedules like?
Okay, well, the finance committee, initially, we met every month. Until we got up to speed, because we were new on the board, and then we meet quarterly. Because the numbers are more relevant every quarter for our finance committee. And the two of us are on there. We chose to do that, Director Gilchrist and myself, and then we have a financial officer, the fire chief, and anybody else that wants to attend.
And our, we have a,
And we have an outside consultant.
consultant that comes in. The other thing I think, to Mickey's point, is when we formed that committee, actually, at the time, we all looked at our skill sets and what we were capable of doing and being able to add the most value to the district. It's kind of like, hey, it was like, you guys know finance, you know numbers, that was what was said to do it. And before that, finance was an ad hoc committee, actually. And then the board decided to say, hey, this should be formalized and put the most qualified people in those positions. And that's what we did across the board for our committees. And it was sort of like a discussion we had here. It was open. It was saying, hey, this is where the industry we come from. We know numbers, we know that. We don't know. I didn't even know what a type 3 fire truck was at the time. So it made sense for those that had the knowledge and expertise to go to those areas.
Yeah, it wasn't based on board positions, it was based on what your expertise and interest was. And so based on that, and then we did move around committees, we did make some changes.
Oh, yeah, we did.
As new board members came on, we switched people for different roles, and new projects came up, like the annexation, that was a whole new ad hoc committee.
Well, it was like when we were talking with the CSD, there was a committee that was formed with it as well. Look at the number side and also the operational side. So we always review the best fit for the individuals.
So the meeting times could vary, the frequency could vary depending on the need.
So initially, finance was monthly until we came up to speed for about 2 years and got a budget to actual to variance reporting. How are we consuming the budget, and what's this, and Chief Dutch did an outstanding job putting that together, and he now has an Excel spreadsheet where we can start to run scenarios that say, how is our spend now? What's it really gonna mean, so that we can forecast ahead and start to make adjustments sooner rather than later, and eliminate surprises. I'll speak for the communications committee, and Director Brett, if I miss anything, please correct me or add to. But we started out monthly there as well, and then I'll start to get communication campaigns together. Actually created a role where we have a communications manager that performs those duties. We had public information officers, PIOs, that we started getting training and working with CAL FIRE to get leveraging some of those trainings to be able to put together communication campaigns and inform the public as to what is occurring in the district, in all areas, be it apparatus, be it the budget, pick a thing and inform it. And then had training, had a lot of training getting people up to speed. Director Breton, anything you'd like to add?
I'll tell you one other thing.
No. No, I think you summed it up well.
I'll also say, like, at the finance committee, I take the minutes for that. We don't bring somebody else in. I write the minutes up, send it out to everybody to get their approval, and then I'll read them. If we had a meeting, I would disclose what was the minutes at this board meeting, and then it's filed.
And I do the same with communications.
All right. For those standing committees, the other ones, the ad hoc committees, they meet as needed. As needed. If it's facilities or equipment, they'll call a meeting. Say human resources are negotiating something with the unions or admin. And the annexation working group, we meet every month. Because we've been meeting every month for 2 years. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, that's a good question. It's good to review that.
We have voted.
No, so we took the motion, so we need to vote.
Director Cosman?
Aye.
Director Evison?
Aye.
Director Irvin?
Aye.
Director Searles?
Aye.
Director Brennan?
Hi.
Okay, correspondence and communications,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a couple of last minute correspondence that came in. One was received from Ursa Vineyards, and they are producing a special bottle of 2021 Caldor red wine in honor of the firefighters who serve near their vineyards, which are in the foothills in South County. And this special run of the wine they're doing, they're going to donate 10% of the net bottle sales to the department. So we're very appreciative of that. I did respond back to Lauren, who's the owner, and said, yeah, that'd be great. So we'll kind of keep tabs on that and see what that looks like. And then staying with the Caldor theme, shortly after the Caldor fire, I've been reached out to by an artist up in the Pollock area that wanted to make some brass plaques, to kind of honor the firefighters and whatnot. We had a couple of communications. She had exchanged some photos and things of conceptual ideas she was working on. I hadn't heard anything for a while. And then, we just received, a letter where they're looking for a place to, install those. They'd like to maybe, do that up at Station 17. So I've not replied back to him yet, this just came in, but I figured I would probably time Director, Edmiston, who's up in Bali on the facilities, the crews at 17, and maybe see if there isn't someplace. There's 4 of them, and they're 28 inches by 28 inches each, so maybe we can see it somewhere out front or something like that, but those are a nice gesture, so I didn't kind of shame it, came down on the Caldor fire, that was a few years ago, so. That was it for communications correspondence. Then within your packet, you'll see the monthly run stats for our engines, medic units, quite busy during the month of November across the board with our companies. A couple of the photos I'll just give comments on the initial page there. I don't know if any of you saw on our Facebook page, but the crews out at 19 ran a vehicle accident with extrication, and then as the call kind of progressed, they realized there was a dog that was trapped in the vehicle as well, like down on the floorboard, and they found to cut the dog out of the car. But just another example of our crews, we often think of the things they do with fighting fire and helping the community and whatnot. This is one of those, again, one of those above and beyond where, they're taking care of, pets and animals. And it's not the first time they've done something along those. And then we also had, Engineer Vermillion, who was recently promoted to the rank of captain, and Caleb Milton, who was a firefighter paramedic, who was promoted to engineer. Other than that, the rest of the run stats are all in your packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Well, it's sort of interesting that on the medic unit, medic 49 ran more calls than 25.
Anymore, you see 25, 28, and 49, they just kind of typically rotate. Usually 25 sits at the top, but those 3 are usually right in that mix for the call volume. All 3 of them they're up there in their call volume.
The other comments on that?
Actually, I have a question. Did we skip committee report out?
Oh, well, we might have, as we jumped to approving the committees. Well, there was no finance committee. I mean, we should go back and, so.
Yeah.
So in the standing committees, budget and finance, I did reach out to Dutch and ask them to prepare an analysis year to date, and everything's in alignment on that. What he sent me, sent you and I.
Yep.
I don't know if he sent it to you, Chief, but he did, and then showed that we're within the range for the expense side, and that he's gonna prepare. I mean, the key is the revenue side. The expenses, we're usually pretty right on unless it's something unusual. But it's the revenue side, we won't know until the end of December, because that's where we're getting the first property tax.
Reporting, that's what people
What we
actually
collect
paid and
paid so
who didn't, or didn't pay. The other side, his Excel spreadsheet, I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah.
I know he's probably gonna work a few bugs out of it or whatnot, but like.
So we have an actual finance committee meeting, January.
And then also, we met with Senator Alvarado Gill's office.
Okay,
Go ahead.
we can do that then. Yeah,
I
okay.
guess Bill was for finance, so.
We can part of finance. Go ahead.
You.
Okay, so we discussed with our staff where we are in SB 660 and our letters and gathering support from everyone. They were up to speed. And there was a question on, should she reintroduce SB 660, which is the study on how pensions are being allocated. And there was also Director Gilchrist brought up that there is also a track we could take with the controller's office. And so we agreed we'd look at both tracks, and they're gonna figure out, they're gonna go back to Alvarado Gill and say, hey, let's resubmit SB 660. and then also look at another way for us to go to the controller's office.
Right, and on top of that, we had a discussion about, other ways that, so for example, ERAF leaves the county.
Yeah,
And, via 172, it comes back, no, let me rephrase it. ERAF takes directly away from county fire, about $1 million a year. Before we even see the money, it's gone. And then via Prop 172, money comes back to the Board of Supervisors to allocate to first responders. Currently it goes to the Sheriff's Office. What we asked the senator's staff, if we can put something together that could alleviate that, because it's, I want to say around $32 million has left this district since ERAF 1 started. Then 2 and 3 become after that, ERAF 2 and 3. And so Erica, who's responsible for policy, is looking at what we can do for fire districts, or those that are impacted by ERAF, so that there can be a shift of money. And she understands that in the rural districts, having staff personnel close to where wildfires start, getting on those faster, can reduce the catastrophic risk of wildfires. So that's another potential bill that might be brought forward as well, to be able to get money so that we, to cover that, because we all know our budget's tight. It's really tight. And so, looking at that as well.
right, yeah, we asked her to look into that, and in fact, I talked to Jacob about it too, and he's gonna help put together an analysis of, well, I just said, look at fire districts and see how much they've all lost, special districts that are fire. And then also to put an analysis together, how much our specific district has lost to ERAF, and then we'll submit that to our, the guild office. The other item we brought up is, why are we paying sales tax on equipment? And she said, they said there's some bill floating around out there, they're gonna do some more research on that, why public agencies are paying sales tax when we're getting property tax dollars in, which is taxable dollars, and then paying it back out as sales tax, makes no sense. So they're gonna look into that, we'll report out once we hear from them.
And the idea is that all of these take the approach as a coalition with rural and urban fire districts. And also teaming up with the Senate, having discussion directly with the Senate Pro Tem and the Speaker of the Assembly, because they're both from rural districts. And being able to work with the rural and urban entities in their district specifically to bring more awareness to them, because whoever controls the Senate and the Assembly kind of sets the agenda and is what's going to occur. And so we want to turn the heat up there as well.
And so they're gonna get back to us in early January, because they have to submit another round of SB 660 by mid-January. To get it into the schedule, so we'll, by the next board meeting, we'll know more.
Right.
Anything else? How about communication?
Did not meet. Yeah, we did meet. We weren't scheduled to meet. It'd be in the first 2 months.
No, there were no meetings.
HR.
We reported out, yeah, we got to report out. And the annexation working group, we continue to work through whatever we're dealing with that. It's been submitted to lab. I'm sure the chief's report's gonna report out on annexation.
Yeah, I can, on the annexation committee, we met, on December 12th, give an update on the LAFCO process and the stuff that's, been submitted. Had some discussion about the first responder fee, which we have in our district down in the there's no bill across. We talked a little bit about the county negotiations, will be upcoming and getting through that. Public education, component as we start to move forward. We identified a list of, venues that we would want to hit for educational town halls, fire safe councils, and a list. I think we had about 12 groups initially that we want to get out and spoke with Captain Yansky on the website, social media, and kind of moving on that. He's got a plan together. He's working on that, and then we discussed briefly again the Alexa poll program for policies and procedures and what we have. It was a good meeting, a short meeting, we're kind of moving through things, really big thing right now, so. But again, on that MOU piece, we'll the loopholes in the back.
So, I mean, we can talk about what, we just met with two of the supervisors. And we can discuss it right now. This thing is the annexation working group, it's the 2x2s. So, we met prior to this meeting with, Supervisor Barlin and Turnbow. It was, Director Rogan and I and the two directors from Diamond Springs. And we had a really excellent meeting. And it was really revealing in some things what they didn't know and what they did know. And they're really supportive of this, but they wouldn't make any commitments regarding funding ideas. But we were not shy to ask. We said, we'll be asking. But we gave them a whole history of everything regarding fire and what the potential is and how this is a nexus to move into the next stage of possibly other consolidations, but it was a good discussion. We went into EMS, we went into fire. We talked about the app. It was really interesting. George didn't know about the Amador plan and how we did that in Camino. And he was surprised about that, how that worked out.
And he used to be a volunteer there.
He used to be a volunteer in El Dorado.
Oh,
Eldorado Fire. So, no, it was good.
Yeah, I think like always, with those meetings, you never know exactly what direction they're gonna take. But this one was good because it opened up some informal back and forth, on maybe a little bit broader viewpoint, and it was interesting to see their viewpoint on it, and it was actually, I was pleasantly surprised at support level in a bigger scale. We'll see where they go.
Yeah, we also explained SB 660 to them, the ERAF request that we're doing in Alvarado Gill, the sales tax, that we got the $1 million for the public safety building and how that all worked, and no, it was good.
Yeah, good meeting.
It was an excellent meeting, so we just have one more soup to deal with.
We've had 4 good meetings so far. The next one will be interesting for playing.
oh, right. Oh, okay. When did you talk with Beer Camp?
We talked to him before. he
Oh,
became
that's
soup.
right. Okay, that's right. That was, okay.
We talked to him pre-soup.
Yeah.
We knew he was gonna be the soup, but we talked to him prior.
I remember that now.
And then we
And
talked.
then it
to
was
him.
Ferrero.
Ferrero you were there. Yeah, that was a good meeting.
Okay, so we move on. Fire chief's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the city of Placerville, we participated in their annual tree lighting event. We had our 1929 American of France there. It was a static display. In years past, we've always brought Santa down to the tree. But as that event has grown with the public, it's just safer to park the engine as a static display. We also had a really great turnout with the Christmas parade this year. I think it was 74 people, both, active members of our agencies, retirees, family members, kids and all of that. We had 2 of our parade rigs, Diamond's parade rig, and we had new truck 28 that participated in that. So that was a really good event. Our Fire Prevention Bureau is currently working with the city on.
And the bill got a workout on truck 28.
Oh, the bell got to work. Thank you for the bell, I appreciate that. Our prevention staff is currently working with the city on a process within their, internally on how they receive new businesses. We're working to try to match what the county does, a very similar process, which would allow for our prevention staff to get into these buildings prior to them opening or change of business, license and business owner, just do our life safety inspection. So we're working through that with the city right now. On the JPA side, we continue to meet with the county on contract for the JPA. We had a meeting this morning, progressing very well. Our target is to try to have something that we can present to county council to have them go through by the end of January or February. So we get a clean document and then bring back to the JPA boards and then it'll trickle down. to the other boards. We also, as of yesterday, entered into a contract with Christy Jorgensen, the new executive director for the JPA. When our group was working on that, for a couple of months, and we came in agreement with Christy. She will be officially leaving El Rey Hills and becoming a full-time JPA employee on January 6th. For the district, our new apparatus is currently going into service. Engine 25 is in service. Engine 49 went in service a couple days ago, 28 right on its heels. Truck 28 is just waiting on some loose equipment, and that'll be in service. Captain Gansky and Chief Lohan are kind of working on some pub ed things where we can do some open house type things. And then we're working with Red Hawk Casino for more of a, probably like a 2-day display of Truck 28 down at Red Hawk once it's in service. We had an internal water leak at Station 19, which caused some damage to the station. One of the bathrooms, the dorm room, and the kitchen. Chief Adams originally took on that project as Chief Williams out of town. Chief Williams is back. He's setting that up, working with our insurance company on the mitigation. They're currently in the process of, we'll be moving the crews from 19 down to Station 23 for what they're telling us is probably 5 to 6 weeks or so while they do the repairs. It may end up being longer, but we'll see how that plays out. 23 should be able to house both the engine and the medic crew. It'll be comfortable in there, but it'll be snug. We have some backup plans that we need to move one of the crews out of just for space needs, but for the service delivery for the folks in Pleasant Valley, 23 is really probably the best choice to relocate those. Chief Williams will be reaching out to the facilities committee to kind of talk about Station 19 with the repairs that are going on, and kind of dovetailing part of the remodel project on a smaller scope at this point, or make the repairs, realizing that, you know, our goal is to remodel that station here in the next few years. We don't wind up where we invest a bunch of money and then, oh, that all gets torn out in 3 years. So if we can kind of plan around that, that would be ideal. Chief Sterling is officially retired, and Chief Shepard is now our fire marshal, and he took over those duties on December 13th. Captain Duncan has been reassigned into the Fire Prevention Bureau behind a vacancy from Captain Shepard. They're up and running and getting things going. Our new payroll software, the UKG Red, has been live for the last few payroll periods. We're still meeting weekly online with UKG. There's still a couple of things that we're tweaking while doing this or doing that, making some of those adjustments, but basically our payroll process has transitioned over to that new platform finally. And then we're working on, there's an HR component to that for evaluations and those type of things. That is nearing completion, and that should be on board here in the next couple of weeks as well. Big thank you to Laura Land and Captain Andreas. They've kind of been the leads on getting that program up and running. It's been a lot of work, but it's really streamlining the payroll component for us, getting away from the 1985 access program database that we've been using. So it's a huge thing. And then I know several board members were at the Union's holiday dinner that was on December 13th. Tremendous turnout. It was great to see everybody. Talking to some of the folks that have been attending these for years, and several of them made comments like, man, this feels like how it used to be. And that was really, really cool to see that great participation. But kudos to the union. And I know that Duncan Silva and Wyatt Barsh kind of took the lead on coordinating and putting all that together. It's a tremendous event, but a really great event for our membership. It was a cool thing to see. So that's in the report. I think it's your questions.
How long was Christie's contract for? Was it 3 years? 5 years.
We want to do.
I get it.
I was the chair of that.
You don't want to do that again for another 5 years.
I won't be doing that again.
Okay, any board comments?
Just a couple. One, thank you, Captain Gansky and the 3556 for the invite to the Christmas dinner. It was, I agree with the chief, that was a fantastic event, fantastic venue. You guys did a fantastic job putting that all together, so thank you. Another thing, just to pass on, chief, to the crews from 19s. I think it, and Captain Yansky might be able to add more to this, but I believe that it was on Saturday or Sunday, there was a head-on collision on Pleasant Valley Road at Hanks Exchange, I think it was.
On Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, and, so the family wants to pass on, the family of the boy wants to pass on to the department their just deep appreciation for the care that their family members received at the scene there. And if you, there's a little bit of a backstory to this. If most of us probably remember about a year ago, there was a youth group from one of the churches here on Missouri Flat, I think, that went camping, backpacking out in Forest Hill, and a tree fell and killed hit two of the boys and killed one of them. This boy that is injured in this auto accident was the boy that survived that event. And so the family has just reached out and said, hey, please thank the first responders for everything they did. So if you could pass that on to the crews in 19, I think it was 19s. Yeah. For that, so other than that.
Right.
Actually, I do, it's a few things, so. Yes, thank you for the Christmas dinner, that was quite enjoyable. I was, from where I was last year and where I am this year, it's been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, I'll leave it at that. But, glad to be there and be able to participate in it. The next one, I just wanted to let the board know, transparency, I mentioned it in early meetings. Taxpayers Association has elected me as a director for 2 years. So, I'm gonna be doing that, and, believe me, if I need to recuse myself from anything there, I will. But I think it's, and as I told them, I said, I think I'll help you guys understand what it takes to run a fire department and do some really good education. So, I'm there. And then also next month, I will be in DC. There's a little thing going on around the 20th, and the week before, I will be dialing in from probably Virginia.
If we can just get that location
You,
by the Friday prior to
So
that.
we have a White House tour scheduled. I might swing it from the steps of the White House, but we'll see.
you have to hang a shingle.
Yeah.
No, I like.
Yeah, you'll have the address, but yeah. Like, don't be shocked.
Pennsylvania,
Don't be shocked. Yeah.
I'd also like to thank the union for putting on their Christmas party, it was excellent. It was really good. And my wife, what was my wife's comment that they will remember?
Best cocktail she's ever had in a plastic cup. And maybe next year we'll get glass ones. We'll see.
She wasn't wrong.
Okay, any future agenda items?
No, you wish.
So, we didn't evaluate the chief this last year because he was so involved in the annexation. I guess I have to send it out now for a January evaluation for forms. And then consolidate that together. Unless I want to hand it on to the vice chair now. No, I'll be sending those out and then I'll consolidate together. And get back on. All right, the next meeting is January 16th. Would it be possible to move it for a week? For the following?
You guys can make that decision.
Actually,
And that help you out?
yeah, I was just closing out, but that is a good.
Because that would help me out too with some things I got going on that week
I
before.
think I'm having internet problems there. Oh, well.
It is early because of the,
So the 23rd would be good.
What day are we looking at?
Thursday, the 21st.
Oh, we're taking.
The one we're seeing.
And I will be in route to that.
Okay, well, then we leave it on the 16th. Was it 5? You can't come in remotely. You're out. Okay, well, no, we-
Yeah, I'm traveling that day.
Okay. You leave it waiting. Okay, a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Mark.
Have fun, Mark.
Bye. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.